intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, and always get proper treatment for serious medical conditions. Legal disclaimer: use only legal measures to combat the virus and cooperate with government officials, first responders, and healthcare workers to make the coronavirus a thing of the past and create a perfect society ASAP. Use common sense, logic, and help your fellow humans if necessary, also to lower the risk of being vaccinated mandatorily ourselves and to end the pandemic as soon as possible. The objective of my videos is not to slander people nor to incite or trigger people, but to do the opposite, exposing it when people are wrongly accused, and to create universal peace, world peace, or just peace on earth. People are innocent till proven guilty in the court of law. One who knows of evidence must testify, not to convict anyone without a fair trial. Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. We are all the human race. Our common enemy is death. Welcome on Try Something.Vegetarian. I'm Ulrich Hoffman, and this is the broadcast Time Travel Machine Patent Method of Gravity Distortion and Time Displacement. So, because I think the potential to do good with it, tremendous amounts of good, but also the potential to do tremendous amount of evil with it, I think it's best to start with the 3 Laws of Robotics by Isaac Asimov. And then we'll take a look at the patents. So here I should be able to switch to Wikipedia, and then we can use the text-to-speech engine to read this to us. A computer will read the text. It may take a while, my computer is not super fast.
Visit my JoAjo app channels, Genuine News, Perfect Society. Try Something.Vegetarian, my new channel Start Healing Spread Truth and the Future channel on JoAjo app. Be prepared everyone. Form real resistance to death, our common enemy. Safety first. Mir, Salam, Shalom, Hiwa, Major typing on, Shanti Shanti. Universal Everton now. Universal Peace now. The 3 Laws of Robotics, often shortened to the 3 Laws or known as Asimov's Laws, are a set of rules devised by science fiction author Isaac Asimov. The rules were introduced in his 1942 short story Runaround, included in the 1950 collection I, Robot, although they had been foreshadowed in some earlier stories. The 3 Laws, quoted from the Handbook of Robotics, 56th edition, 2058 AD, are: First law: a robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Second law: a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Third law: a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
So basically you could argue robots should help save humans, save lives, and even give its own life to do so if necessary. And was the other idea I had? Oh yeah, when doing experiments, to do them on the smallest scale possible, and not to do it when we cannot control the outcome. So first to know all the facts, etc. Okay, so then we can jump to the patent. That's this patent. I had collected some other things, some tabs. Method of gravity distortion and time displacement. So what else did I select qua tabs? Stillness in the storm.com, project Looking Glass, time lensing technology used to look into the past and future. I don't know to what extent this is real or fictional, but with patents I know they are not provided unless it's a working device. This is another patent, practical time machine using dynamic, efficient, virtual and real robots. And this is the PDF with the patent, the Justia patents version. Oh, this is the other patent. It's not that interesting, I think. Does US 2006-0073976A1 really describe how to build a time machine on patents.stackexchange.com? And before it's news.com, US scientist patent time machine. I also want to read this article. And then we have patent of time machine, exclamation mark. Finally, the secret of making a time machine has been revealed. And this is on blog.livedoor.jp. And this is actually an English translation of a page in Japanese. And then we have metallicman.com, the John Titor Index. And again, I don't know if this is propaganda and stuff, or if parts of this or all of it are real. And I don't know if this is the same thing as the patents. And I've done the 3 laws of robotics, so then we can start reading the patents. Okay, so I might not read the whole thing. There are formulas in here, and basically I would think I'm reading something else. It doesn't make clear to me that it's time travel patent. But we'll see how far we get and if it's interesting. And if it's too difficult nomenclature, then I may just skip. I put a link in the description so everybody can check this out for themselves. Okay, then here we go.
Method of gravity distortion and time displacement abstract. A method for employing sinusoidal oscillations of electrical bombardment on the surface of one Kerr-type singularity in close proximity to a second Kerr-type singularity, in such a method to take advantage of the Lenz-Thirring effect, to simulate the effect of two-point masses on nearly radial orbits in a 2+1 dimensional anti-de Sitter space, resulting in creation of circular time-like geodesics conforming to the Van Stockham under the Van den Broek modification of the Alcubierre geometry, Van den Broek 1999, permitting topology change from one space-like boundary to the other in accordance with Giroc's theorem, Giroc 1967, which results in a method for the formation of geomal out-over, Odl-type geodesically complete space-time envelopes complete with closed time-like curves. Images 3. Classifications. G09B19/00 teaching not covered by other main groups of this subclass. View 1 more classifications. US 200600739776A1 United States. Download PDF. Find prior art. Similar inventor Marlon Pullman. Worldwide applications 2004. US application US 10/954,767. Events October 1, 2004. Application filed by Pullman Marlon B. October 1, 2004. Priority to US 10/954,767. April 6, 2006. Publication of US 200600739776A1. Status abandoned. Info patent citations 4, cited by 4, legal events. Similar documents. Priority and related applications. External links. Disto assignment. Displacement. Global dossier. Discuss description. Field of the invention 0001. The present invention relates to the use of technical time displacement devices, which operate by the modification of gravitational fields. These drive systems do not depend on the emission of matter to create thrust to take advantage of time dilation, but rather create a change in the curvature of space-time, in accordance with general relativity. This allows travel across topologies by warping space-time, to produce a topology change from one space-like boundary to the other in accordance with Dirac's theorem. Dirac 1967. Theoretical background of the invention 0002. The concept of gravity should be examined in the light of quantum gravity and in turn as a component of quantum physics itself. The fundamental minimum quantum of energy in quantum physics is Planck's constant, h. Thus, in accordance with the energy equivalence formula E equals mc2, the fundamental minimum quantity of mass, mq, can therefore be derived from known constants by mq equals h/c2, 1. Taking this minimal mass, it is possible to show that the formation of all matter, the forces of nature and indeed space-time itself derive from this single quintessential quantity.
So I was wondering, what does that mean? The status of the patent is abandoned. A patent is not provided unless it's a working device, so I don't really know what that means. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, like I said. I'm going to read the other articles as well. So is this a real time travel patent or not? Etc. I just ran into it a couple of minutes ago. Basically, what was I thinking about? Time travel. Project Looking Glass. I've heard about Project Looking Glass, basically. And supposedly only the 33rd degree Freemasons have access to that Looking Glass time travel machine, a device to see the future. I think they're using a synthetic telepathy machine, basically. That's the Mahler patent, the apparatus and method for monitoring and altering brainwaves. And they also have a patent to control emotions of humans. I've had precognitive visions, and I think that natural telepathy does not exist, and I think that it's not a deity, but a time travel machine, a time traveling device, a time traveling neural network. I've covered it also in my previous broadcasts about the Tesla patents, for example. And well, I just thought, let's search if I can find more information about it, and then I ran into this, basically. And that's tied to QAnon, so it might be totally fake in theory. And that's sort of the mark of the beast in the left top corner, but that may have 3 instead of 2. Also the form, the shape of a Möbius coil, which may be used to time travel. Anyway, let's continue reading the patent. Just wondering if anybody knows what status abandoned means, if this patent is not used anymore, and if there are any other time travel patterns.
Thus, if the number of quintessences in a system is NQ equals M/MQ, then the total energy of the system is more logically given by the energy of a single quintessence, H, directly multiplied by the number of quintessences, NQ, in that system, thus E equals H and Q equals MQ2, 1A. 4. Furthermore, this minimal mass, termed quintessence, can form the basis of the existence of a quantum gravitational field in the form of a space-time lattice, from which quantum gravity may be derived from first principles. Furthermore, the conglomeration of these quintessences also accounts for the formation of the elementary particles and the forces acting between them, as in superstring theory. This concept explains the formation of matter and the forces of nature on a quantum mechanical basis and directly explains the existence of wave-particle duality. Thus, as NQ equals M/MQ, the frequency of light and matter, F, is determined, directly, from the number of constituent quintessences. This leads automatically to the fundamental equation, derived from 1, F equals NQ equals E/H, where NQ is the number of quintessences, which leads directly to the frequency of both light and matter. This in turn leads directly to a universal wave equation for matter and light equals C/NQ equals HC/E, 2, whereas the relative directional velocity, v, c, as the momentum, P equals times E/c, then this equation also gives the standard de Broglie wave equation, equals H/P in agreement with current theory and experiments 1.00005, using the universal wave equation, the standard equation for special relativity, m equals μ/1 minus 2 1/2, derives from first principles. Also from these observations, a modified Dirac wave equation may be derived, E equals minus J middle dot plus M, 2A, the results of which have been recently verified by a paper in which the orbitals of electrons were experimentally directly visualized too. Moreover, a fundamental equation for general relativity can be formulated, where G is the gravitational constant and RQ is the given radius of quintessence, G equals 9 RQ2C4/E, 3, such that the universal wave equation is in direct agreement with general relativity 3. Thus special and general relativity and quantum mechanics can be unified. 0.006. From here it is possible to proceed in a number of ways. The geometric structure of the electron and the forces of nature may be derived from first principles, and in turn the structure of the quarks, including the top and bottom, otherwise known as truth and beauty, can be seen. Moreover, the presence of a space-time lattice results in an understanding of quantum EPR effects. By allowing a theoretical flow of energy through the space-time lattice, it can be shown that 0.007, energy is not bound by space-time. 0.008, thus logically accounting for phenomena such as entanglement and quantum tunneling. Quintessence can also be used to explain, logically, the inner physics of a black hole, the missing mass of the galaxy, the continuing expansion of the universe, Guth's inflationary theory, and the Big Bang. Hence, it is now possible to understand the universe, including space-time, matter and the forces of nature, from the radius, mass and vibration of a single quantity, quintessence. 0.009. With this understanding of space-time, matter and the forces of nature, and in particular gravity, it is possible to demonstrate that the modification of gravitational fields, and in turn the warping of space-time, can be technically readily achieved. 0.010. Using standard equations for special relativity, m equals m0/1 minus 2 1/2, it can be demonstrated that by differentially increasing the velocity of electrons, by applying a differential current, their mass can be increased in a specific way. In turn, by increasing the mass of electrons, by general relativity, the number of gravitons emitted from these electrons can be modulated. By multiplying this effect using an ultracentrifugational device, the differential graviton emission can be manifestly amplified. This in turn, in accordance with general relativity, will cause a change in the curvature of space-time. 0011. This effective warping of space-time does not, of necessity, imply superluminal velocities, but does allow the creation of warp drive systems, which do not depend on the creation of thrust by the ejection of material as used in current space technologies. Part 1, Fundamental Laws of Physics, 0012, Quintessential Mass, 0013, the quantum physical, minimum component of energy is Planck's constant, h. To define the minimal component of mass, using the standard energy equivalence formula, E equals mc2, such a minimal mass, mq, would be required to have the value equivalent to, mq equals h/c2, 1. The total mass of a system, m, would then be, m equals nqmq, where, nq, is the number of these minimal units.
The purpose for which this ship was built, to end for all time the scourge of warfare.
From the movie Master of the World, 1961, a sample. Yes, well, I think it's a bit too scientific, basically. Perhaps it's better to first move to the claims. Let's see. Black hole energy is bound by space-time. We were already at number 13. All kinds of formulas and stuff. Direct equation, perhaps that's interesting. Take it from number 42. Okay. Backspace button is not working the way it usually does, so I'll have to restart the text-to-speech engine. That takes time as well, of course. But I would say it's worth it. There's another interesting document. Let's see if I can retrieve that. I've covered it in previous broadcasts also. Physics of Reality Manipulation Time Travel Research Center. So again, I don't know to what extent this stuff is real, but they write how dangerous it is. Upon inspection of the Eldridge after this event, men were found implanted in the ship's walls. Others walked around in a psychotic stupor, and the more unfortunate either burst into flames or vaporized when non-victims touched them physically. Very few on board survived in good health, but a close friend knew one such survivor and attests to the story's validity. This friend has passed on some critical information pertaining to how the Philadelphia experiment was conducted, from which some of the following theory is based. So they write about dimensions, 6 dimensions in total. And basically how to achieve invisibility, teleportation, anti-gravity and time travel. Invisibility in the 3rd dimension, electric and magnetic fields cross to produce a rotating gravity field coupled to light. Teleportation, XYZ coil, creates 4th dimensional field coupled to target objects. Anti-gravity, solitonic gravity field modulates magnetic flux to channel ether around target object. And time travel, Caduceus coil produces scalar field. And it's further explained, so perhaps I can add that link to the description of the video. And then we can continue reading this patent.
0042. This is thus the standard relativistic equation that Dirac was able to construct from the Schrödinger wave equation. This relativistic equation can be derived from the modified wave equation. This takes into account the relative mass energy which the quintessential wave equation contains. 0043, where important.
Okay, then I think I'll have to redo the broadcast. Sorry about that. See you on the other side.